spin.
Hello, people of the internet community of humans. Welcome. Today I'm going to get back to work on restoring my Graham's 1994 Ford Ranger 4x4. If you're new and you'd like to get caught up on why exactly I just slapped my thigh that hard, up above my head is a link to something. My plan initially today was to make a video on the Bronco, hence why it's sitting in here, but I realized I'm still missing 2 more parts to do that video. So, yay, more Ranger progress. I have lots more brand new parts for this truck that go in the engine bay. I do not know what is in these. Clips, master cylinder, fuel filter. Ah, here we go. This is what I needed. This right here. It's a local shop here in Tucson that rebuilds alternators and starters and all kinds of different motor generators and stuff like that. And I figured that was way better than just replacing it with an aftermarket one. So now I got the original Ford Motorcraft part that came on this truck from the factory. Look at that. That looks so mint. So nice. I don't remember if there was a bracket that goes on top of this. I don't think there is. So I need 3 M10 by 150 by 80s. Pretty sure that's 80. There's another one. Yeah, that's an 80. Alright. This is so crazy. I have the original alternator for this truck. Okay. Now that right there is a new brake booster, because the one that was on the truck was all rotted out underneath where the master cylinder sat. The original brake booster had this little plastic cover that goes between the firewall and the brake booster, and then it also has a little foam gasket that just kind of, I don't know, vibration damper, I guess. Fortunately, this was one of the parts that was discontinued by Ford, so I couldn't get one from Ford for the truck that would have that foam piece on there. It's okay. I actually think this one looks a little better quality than the factory one. It's not the prettiest, but it'll get the job done. It'll be vibration free. That's all that matters. Goes just like this. I gotta get some nuts on the backside. That's what he said, I think. I forgot there's quite a few pieces that go in the front of the engine and the firewall that I have to refinish still. Like all of this stuff. This right here is a brand new pre-filled clutch master cylinder. Ooh! And there's foam on the back side of it. Ah, that's nice quality right there. Ah, yes. A more intelligent human being would have put this on before the brake booster. Good job, Sarah. That's excellent. I need to get a steering shaft off of the frame. Oh, the sun's about to set. Let's see. You know what? It's really not that nasty. I can sand this up and clean it up and reuse it. I got another one of these plastic covers on the other truck. I'll probably use the other plastic cover. Man, that is a tiny bolt for something so important. Oh, it's got lots of Loctite on it. Jeez, whole bolt's blue. That's crazy. The shaft is like really in there. That could have been taken the wrong way. Get that cleaned up. Add this to the pile of parts for tomorrow that have to get reconditioned, as well as you. So with that said, it's also the next day. It's time for me to get to dirty work. To clean up all these parts, I'm using my tried and true method of making a noxious cocktail of every hazardous chemical and cleaner I have in my cleaning locker, and using a robot's toothbrush and robot's washcloth to scrub the barnacles off the hard-to-get bits. I took the best parts I had between the New Mexico parts truck and my Graham's Ranger and used the ones that had the least amount of corrosion on them. Unfortunately, the New Mexico parts truck had a thick baked on dirt, clay, and grease mixture that was almost as bad as corrosion to remove. My Grams truck did not come with AC from the factory, so luckily the New Mexico parts truck did, and I was able to use the evaporator housing from that truck. However, because my Grams truck was in better shape, I peeled the foam off the non-evaporator, non-AC truck housing because it was the same, and pasted that onto the New Mexico one because it was all dried and biscuity. As well as I'm using the original blower motor and the heating element from my Grams truck too, so that way it smells like New Hampshire dirt instead of New Mexico dirt. Actually no dirt because I cleaned the inside of it. I'm done though. That right there took 9 hours. That is ridiculous. I started this at 10 o'clock this morning and it's now G30. I'm trying my best to make significant progress in this video, which means I'm kind of taking a little bit longer to film this than I normally would. But I want to try to get this truck to start within the next video. Not this one, but the next video. All of these came from the New Mexico truck. It's every single nut and bolt from the entire firewall. So I'm just gonna match up those guys. Yep, here they are. That's them. I don't want to screw myself by putting this thing in too early. I don't think I'm going to, but it is going to make it harder to get anything down there. This right here is a bit of a problem. This was the lid that came off the New Mexico parts truck that covers the evaporator. You can see it's melted from the exhaust. And this is the one I got from the junkyard that I cleaned up. That was supposed to work. However, they're different. Super different. They're not even close. Really glad I took these notes a couple months back when I tore this all apart, because now I know exactly what bolt goes where. Since I'm replacing everything on the AC system, I'm gonna replace the evaporator too. I was gonna use that one, but I ordered a new one. It'll be here in the morning. I'm gonna end up having to go to a junkyard again though and see if I can find another lid, because I just looked on eBay and there was none. So that right there is crusty. This is the water neck off the parts truck. The inside is rusted, but the outside isn't. My Grams truck, the outside was rusted, but the inside wasn't. So that little plastic Lego bucket of Lake Placid is rust dissolver. What I'm about to do next is probably not going to make sense to a lot of you because of what you've seen so far with the undercarriage of this truck as far as the restoration goes. So this right here is the original bumper pad from my Grams truck and the back bumper that I got out of the junkyard, since my grandma's back bumper was completely rotted out. The whole purpose of this entire project was to fix the rust on my Grams truck. I'm not trying to replace everything on this thing and turn it into something different. I just want my Grams truck to last. I want it to be rust free. So I gotta loosen these up a bit. Okay. So, as I was saying, I decided to use the factory bumper pad from this truck instead of a brand new one that I bought for it. It's really easy to get into a rabbit hole of just replacing stuff and wanting to put constant new parts on here. But this truck was in amazing shape other than the rust before I started on it. And I want to preserve that aspect of it, that my Gram took such good care of this thing. I think they're all lined up now. Character. That's the word I'm looking for here. Character. But if I make everything brand new again, the truck loses its character. So stuff like that, it's gonna stay. Hello and welcome to day number 3. This right here was a pain in the ass to find. A radiator for this truck that wasn't a cheap piece of shit. Since Ford discontinued making the OEM radiator, I didn't want to put just some random garbage brand that the internet is flooded with. And this one is actually for the automatic transmission 4-liter, so it's a dual core. So you can see the outlets on the single core manual transmission radiator are a little bit different than this new Koyorad. Does it fit like a glove? That works perfect. These things should bite down, hopefully. That should slide onto the bottom. Damn, I don't know if I have these zinced. I don't remember pulling these off the other truck. Oh man, I screwed up. I didn't get these zinced. I guess I'll just have to neutralize the rust on these. Rubber butt plug, you go in. So this just showed up, brand new evaporator. It's got a little foam on the bottom, I like that. I'm a fan of foam. Check out this score. Charlie got this from the junkyard for me this morning off an old square body Explorer. Perfect condition. It's mint, I cleaned it, but so now we put this guy. This bubble doodad looking thing goes here? Yeah. This thing goes like right here. Well, it's a hodgepodge of like 3 different trucks parts, but now I have factory air conditioning. One last step though, I'm gonna put some DEI heat protectant on the back of this plate to protect it from the headers. Prep the surface, a little bit of wax and grease. Remover, not actual wax and grease, that would not prep it. Jeez, this stuff is strong. So that's the spot that melted on the parts truck, and now it's covered. This stuff's really difficult to work with though. I don't know why, it just dawned on me now that heat insulation is insulation, hence fiberglass. Itchy. Oh yeah, that insulation will work really good in there. Man, it bothers me. It's not like absolutely perfectly cut. Then again, this is what came from the factory. I think mine looks prettier. These right here, Fred just shot the satin clear-coated Calypso green metallic to match the engine bay. They're the brackets for the nose. This sits just like this. And I got green bolts, the ones that came out of here. In case you're wondering how I remember where everything goes inside this engine bay, I make YouTube videos. You're watching one. So I can see stuff like that's the nut plate that holds the radiator onto the core support. Yeah, just like that. The small one has graced us with her presence.
They chew on wood and they flap their tails. I gotta be quiet. We're gonna keep that thought in my brain, Sarah. Let me order some things.
I was just looking for a clutch for you. Taggerdoodle. There. Just like new. Inside this large box is another large something. Shapes.
Cheers!
No!
Cheers! It's from my Instagram.
Ah, yeah, there's a hole for it. So that sits in front of it. Here.
Is that one of those infomercials they try to sell you the whole CD album?
Hey Alexa, play Return to Innocence. I am bequeathing you a rubber butt plug.
Bequeathing me? No!
You don't know this song?
No, why is this like locked in an internal memory somewhere?
So this, when you install this plug into the core support, you need to listen to Return to Innocence. See, isn't this a spiritual moment, just sticking this rubber square into the rubber square hole?
Emotion! hands. It is a spiritual awakening.
I don't think I should be putting this close to my face when I'm pulling this zinced hardware off. I think there's a real danger of getting zinc fibers in my lungs. Well, I got the top hardware portion of this AC condenser figured out because these nut plates I could see in a video. The bottom, however, so down here you can see the line for the AC. It'll hit the core support, but this little bracket doesn't come close enough to attach it. So I feel like there should be some kind of little rubber bushing or plastic bushing that goes in between that and this hole right here. But I don't know because this is the core support from my parts truck and my other core support didn't have AC condenser. I think this is a good stopping point because I have a lot of parts that are ready to get installed. However, I'm missing little tiny things that I'm gonna be able to acquire hopefully from a junkyard tomorrow morning. And that will start for a great start to filming another video because now I can just start yeeting parts at this truck. I threw the yeet in there for you, Sarah. Are you happy?
Yep. Ecstatic.
Cleaning all that stuff up made for really boring content, but I had to do it to be able to move forward with bolting on the parts on this truck. And I was able to also get the rest of the hardware for the fender flare at the junkyard also. So yeah, the next video I should be able to make a ton of progress. So I'm gonna shoot for a next video to maybe get this thing ready to start as long as I have the bracket for the fuel filter back from powder coating. Fingers crossed. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go hang out with small Sarah for a little bit. So, bye.
I had a mouthful of chicken. Bye.